there is nothing more powerful as medicine or as a remedy to align you with this existence, with your nervous system, than being out in nature. For a lot of people that are used to living in big cities and accustomed to the hustle and grind and heavy amounts of cortisol, that's in a way the driving force for their lives. You know, for the caffeine addicts, the ones that start their day with multiple cups of coffee, and without that, it's like the day never begins for them. For those people, this environment might be a bit jarring for them at the start. The silence that you might experience, and simultaneously the noise that comes from within, will clash in these environments. You will most likely feel uncomfortable and want to escape the situation with distractions, you know, either pull out technology and swipe away, and you might find it difficult to spend time and just breathe in clean air and listen to the surrounding sounds. Because in a way, it's deafening, but at the same time, it's bringing out this loud inner turmoil that in a way is trying to get you to listen and slow down. But because it's so out of the ordinary for a lot of people, and it's quite uncomfortable to hear that inner noise, you know, which is in a way your inner guidance, you know, we kind of want to suppress that, you know, and numb it back down inside and kind of shut it down and keep it quiet. You know, so we're so accustomed to like all the external noises from our gadgets and devices, and just being engaged in the world and having external input at all times as a means to keep that inner guidance distracted, because it's painful to start listening to that inner guidance or that inner voice that's trying to lead you to more of who you really are and not distract you. You know, comes with a lot of responsibility on your end, you know, because it requires action and it requires you to move in that direction. And most of the time, to move in that direction, you have to kind of squash the opposite end of the spectrum, and whatever direction you were in before, in a way that has to come to an end. You know, at least in the beginning, it needs to be minimized more and more and like chiseled out of your life in a way where you can move towards more of the alignment. You know, and I guess it's more easier to comprehend that you're moving from comfort, which in a way we all seek, and our body in a way puts us in these states of comfort as like a means of protection, It's a strange anomaly to think that, why would our body, and its intelligence want to keep us trapped from our, greatest version of ourselves, or our, best potential, and put us in, mindsets and situations where, we're stuck. Well, it's just because, from a young age, the body was, stunned during its growth process with trauma. And like anything, like for example, a cut, where the scab has to form over, well, that trauma response of keeping you safe was activated. And in a way, what's happening is that wound never healed, like that scab never healed. It's like we kept picking at it because we kept being re-traumatized within our lives. So in a way, you always get that same response. But it comes a time when you realize how painful the comfort is. That's probably where I see most people, have to get to a level in their lives where one, it's on that extreme where either some kind of dire straight situation occurs where you're forced against your will, where an extreme illness or sickness comes through where now you have to face it head on, or your life depends on it. Or on the other opposite spectrum is where you've traveled so far along your journey, you've repeated the same actions day in, day out for so long that you get to a place where now all of the comforts are becoming painful. Where physically, the food that once brought you comfort now is causing you pain. The distractions that, once were, high on your priority list to engage in, now you just don't want to do them anymore. That's why I think that there is nothing more powerful as medicine or as a remedy to align you with this existence, with your nervous system, than being out in nature.